About a subject that I think just about every Nigeria is aware of. I'm talking about the housing deficit in Nigeria, by which I think it is meant that we don't have enough houses. It's not like in many other places of the world, perhaps more fortunate where, people are, many other, people buy one house, get rid of it, buy another one. In fact, people are buying houses according to their stages. When you're newly married, it's a different setup. When when you're older than that. But let me just ask our expert in-house, Dr. Femi Oshofowora, who is a certified real estate entrepreneur. And I'm happy about the entrepreneur bit because that means you've been in the mix. And he also is a property consultant. Let me start off by asking how bad is the housing deficit in Nigeria?
All right. The housing deficit in Nigeria is so much because if you look at the rate at which people are really coming into different states, the population is becoming something else.
Yes, there's a high mobility of citizens.
Exactly. So the population is really causing a lot of challenges that makes people not to have
in some states or all states?
Most states.
Most states.
Yes.
I can understand that being the issue in maybe Lagos, for instance, the most notorious.
As well as Abuja and Port Harcourt.
Okay, those three.
Those three are so much. The rate at which people come into the state is so much, and then we have housing. A little provision for housing for those people.
But government keeps on, government has always been saying that they are working on it, housing estates. The way government is going about it, I don't know what you think, but it doesn't seem that it's going to be adequate in terms of, supplying the need of Nigerians.
Now, the truth is that the government cannot do everything. So government needs to partner with private ownership, private sectors. Like we have a quite number of developers in Nigeria. Then we also have an association called REDAN, Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria. If government can, partner with, private sector and as well, this REDAN to ensure that this challenge is tackled, it will really bring down, the deficit in Nigeria.
People talk about mortgages, and we know what the economy is doing. And everything is based on the, on whatever the rate is. There was a time we used to hear stories that mortgages used to work in times past. But now, with the cost of everything having escalated, I doubt if mortgages nowadays can actually do what it used to do some time ago, which is provide for the house, and then it's a matter of paying back.
Okay, sir. I would have even loved to even say, let me even say it this way, that mortgage could have been the best way to approach this challenge.
Okay.
Mortgage and then government coming into partnership with real estate developers. But now, is mortgage system, is it really working in Nigeria? What about the interest rate?
Yes.
So these are things that are really bringing down that are causing a lot of challenges, especially to housing development in Nigeria.
So it's tied back into the economy and the struggles that the economy has.
In fact, the struggle is so much because, look at it, number two, is we also look at the inflation. Things are really very expensive right now. I remember in one of our estates, exquisite estates that we were having some project in that estate around about 5-6 years ago. The cost of cement then was about 3,500.
Can you imagine?
But now, there's there are about 3 projects we are developing now. The cost of cement, when we bought it, was about 10,500. So things are just skyrocketing, and then there is a need for us to look into this and find a permanent solution to this.
That would be the silver bullet. What would be, I'm interested to hear what you think as an expert and somebody who is involved in this sector. What would be the way forward?
Okay, the way forward, like I said, is number one, let the government partner with some of us that are developers, private developers. Number two, they should make our documentation seamless. The documentation process with the government is extremely stressful. If that is made seamless, it will cost a lot. It will bring a lot of solutions to this challenge.
Tell me a bit about that, so that one can understand. Because unfortunately, your area of specialization is people don't know about it because you're asking me about so that is what. So a lot of people are dark. They're in the dark about what it takes. So how do you mean?
Okay, this is what I mean. Now, there are two ways you can process your documentations. You can either process your documentation directly from the government, or you go through professionals, maybe developers, real estate entrepreneurs, to help you out to do that. So the first one is, now, while you are carrying out your documentation process with the government, how long does it take before approvals come out?
Okay. That is in the case of people who want to be investors.
Who want to be investors. Perhaps you want to maybe have your own personal development in whatever, maybe in Lagos or whatever in Nigeria. So what's the process of development? I mean, documentation. And how easy is it for you to get those approvals? That's one. So then secondly is, getting some of these developers. Because this challenge has brought a lot of developers to do something that is not legal. Okay. And then we also need to sanitize this. In fact, that's one of the things that Redan is doing, to sanitize the system. And
Redan being Real Estate
Developers Association of Nigeria. So they are doing so well to ensure that developers are doing the right thing, despite that there are a lot of economic challenges that is affecting our operation system, our development, and whatever we are doing at any of our estates.
And what you're just talking about, doing the right thing, there was a time when it was a lot easier, although the right thing should be easy all through, but there was a time when it was a lot easier in terms of, we're talking about money now, we're talking about the cost of things, but now people are cutting corners and we are seeing the resultant effects. Unfortunately, Nigeria is not a stranger to news items about collapsed buildings and all that kind of a thing. It's a problem. People who can't go through the right path, not developers like you, are talking about, look, I must do something by myself, and they grab hold of non-pros who have experience. It's a bit like like in the hospital where there are, people who are really, I can't remember, attendants. Who then carry on like nurses or doctors when they get the opportunity, simply from having been observing the real world nurses doing it. But one moment, as I was going on, I just remembered Kesandu, Mr. Kesandu in Owerri.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. So sorry to have kept you waiting.
No. It's still part of the whole thing.
Okay.
Good morning to your guest. It's fine, sir.
Yes. Okay.
I want to start by saying it's a very, 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 very important conversation. And as we all know, this is when it comes to the listing of the basic necessities of man, housing is second, it's shelter. And it's quite unfortunate where we are today at the moment. Growing up, I used to see those housing estates being done by government, you understand? And you can agree with me that with all the whole thing that is happening in Nigeria today, vis-a-vis the issue of workers and money, is an issue. Because if you consider what Nigerian workers are earning, for instance, it is difficult for somebody to actually get a decent building of his own. We can even talk about what rent is even costing in Nigeria for today. So please, I feel government has a whole lot to do. Like you rightly said, the guest. Government should partner with some individuals, some groups. We can get some of these things done. It is possible. There are lands scattered all over the states. I don't even know what some of these state governors discuss in their meetings. Because when it comes not to bring the essence of governance is security, that one is welfare. And I can tell you, one of the primary things Nigerians want is shelter. Roof over their head. You see all these people loitering about and sleeping under the bridges, causing havoc and nuisance in the society. This is how it starts. But I can tell you, if somebody has a decent roof over his head, it becomes safe for us to address certain issues. So I am calling on state government and federal government. Let us go back to that time where the government can come out, because we are saying it. You see, a politician will build some skyscraper that is not even using. Can we actually develop some of these lands? If you cannot do it, let us use these estate developers and get it done. You can be extracting little money from the salaries. Teachers are ready to pay. So please, this is very, very important for us as Nigerians. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You agree?
Yes, yes. I 100% agree with what he said.
But the point is that the state of the economy, inflation, and as he was saying, after food, of course, the other thing is you want a roof over your head.
Yes.
And it's like an impossibility right now. It's like, I mean, what would be your suggestion for the teeming number? Because apart from that, the challenges, then there are fraudsters in the mix.
Exactly, yes.
That, again, is another problem. In fact, I was reading, it was in Ogun State, that no less personality than KBACs, 2 KBACs are actually going to be arraigned before courts for land grabbing. I mean, it's as bad as that. It's as bad as that.
So on that, sir, yes, I used to say that because to avoid some of these fraudsters, before you can say you want to buy any property, it is important to carry out your due diligence. Due diligence is not just the genuinity of the land. It is also the genuinity of the person who is selling it. Because a property can be genuine and the person selling it is fake.
Yeah.
A property can be in a very sensitive and strategic location, and the documentation might have issues. So when you're buying properties, first, confirm the track record of whoever that is selling. Number 2, confirm the genuinity. Engage professionals. So some people don't want to spend money to engage professionals, and then at the end of the day, they fall victim. Now, yesterday somebody was asking me that are there still is real estate in Nigeria not a scam? I said no, it's not a scam. Just that people do not really carry out their due diligence. And then, like I said before, the government needs to, like Redan is trying to sanitize the system to ensure that those who are carrying out the real estate activities in Nigeria, they are licensed, they are qualified, and then they are well schooled. So, and then they also ensure that sometimes they have some representative to go to some of their estates and their companies to confirm that these people who are Redan members are genuine. I also belong to one of the committees. Committee. So it is important for people who want to buy any property to carry out your due diligence. Engage your lawyers, engage your surveyors, engage professionals.
All of these people you have to pay.
You have to pay them.
You have to pay them.
Yes.
And most Nigerians, not all, but most Nigerians, that's why you were saying earlier that people don't want to pay for the right thing.
So that is why you see most of these collapsed building, because people don't want to pay for quality. They just want to pay for what they are based on their capacity.
Yes, and
because
what they will
whatever
use.
The documentation, when you carry out a soil test in any of your land or property you want to develop, follow exactly what the soil test says. Don't say because the soil test is saying, okay, in all of this, a professional is telling you that you are going to need 200 million for your foundation. Don't manage 50 million.
I'm happy you actually mentioned the figure. It's because sometimes the figures are so scary that people say, look, let me just keep quiet. You might say an appreciable amount. But we have situations where it's not because you want to build a 25-story building. Some that you said it might well be shall I say, happy lot of a person who wants to do this. And your expert is telling you that we're going to need 200 million on just the foundation.
Just the foundation.
It
is important to note that if you don't have that money, it is important to leave the project for now.
Yeah.
Rather than just patching up things, bringing up the structure, and at the end of the day,
catastrophe. That's not.
So it is important to follow whatever a professional is saying.
How about the authorities who are the regulators? That's another challenge because all of these are infringements, and they will not be tolerated, and they have to come down. Now, I use the word suddenly in there, but I need to explain that. I didn't mean it that they just wake up at... it's not suddenly like that. In fact, the word suddenly was wrong. Yeah. Because oftentimes we've heard from the authorities that 4 or 5 years ago, we've been talking about these matters, that you can't do this, you can't do that. But at the end of the day, we get, apparently approvals come through one way or the other. We don't know. You don't hear often of this kind of a thing. In fact, remember that there was one unfortunate incident in Lagos where a whole luxury something collapsed. And this is a person who had been successful in this field in South Africa, had been successful in this field in the UK. But when it came to Nigeria, only God knows what happened, where the whole structure just collapsed. And that brought up another conversation about the quality of supervision and the quality of knowledge in that sector. Are you satisfied that we do have the knowledge? That is talking about real estate pros now. We do have the knowledge. So what is the problem? What is the problem? Is it that people are not obeying? Or people, is there collusion between those who are regulators and builders?
Okay, now, see, here, sir, I would say that we do have the knowledge, yes. We have the knowledge, we have the expertise, we have the qualities and the qualifications. But the challenge is that a lot of people do not want to fully comply. They don't want to fully comply to whatever the document is saying.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are...
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just got a call. We just got a call in from Ireland. Okay. You know, and it's Benedict calling in from Ireland. Good morning, Benedict.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, please go ahead. A question or observation?
Yeah, my question is, most of these houses, estates that are built all over in Nigeria, in my own opinion, I think they are overpriced.
Okay.
You know, why I say so is because some of the buildings, you have to construct toilets of your own. You have to buy generator where there's no electricity. You have to also connect pipe-borne water for drinking water. But if you go to other places like abroad, all these things are supplied to the house, and the value of the house is
it reflects
well priced.
Yes.
But over there in Nigeria, you see that most of these prices are very high. 1 million, 3 million to buy a house. Even when you decide to buy it, the mortgage, they will tell you to pay half of it before as a deposit. And also, they give you 1 year to finish the balance. In abroad, you can take 10, 20 years to pay for a house. So most of these things are overpriced. They should try and see how they can collaborate with the government and bring down these prices of houses.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Benedict, calling in from the Republic of Ireland.
All right. Let me respond to that.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
I think I like the last thing you said. He said that the government should come into the system and then partner with the developers. However, properties in Nigeria, they are not really overpriced. There are some that are overpriced. Now, because if you compare Nigeria to other countries, like the UK, the US, the economy is standard over there.
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria here, we do almost everything by ourselves.
That's right.
Number two, the cost of material here in Nigeria is now becoming something else. And the developer must also factor in his profit. Are you getting me? So, number three, you also need to understand where are you buying the property. There are about 4 things you should look at when you're buying properties. A prime area, developed area, underdeveloped area, and developing area.
Okay.
Those are 4 areas. Now, if you buy from a prime area, you should know the price will not be as same as maybe developing area or underdeveloped area.
Okay.
The cost of material everywhere is the same in Nigeria. Everywhere is the same. But the location and the development around the location where you want to buy your property is what matters. So secondly, like I said, the economy, the inflation is really, really affecting the growth and the business of real estate in Nigeria. So therefore, now when you look at those who are now low-income earners, middle-income earners, what do we have for them? That's why you see most real estate companies that are into housing, they have a flexible payments plan.
Okay.
You can spread your payments.
Okay.
Some do call it off-plan sales. You have your off-plan sales. You know what you want to build. You have everything with you, and then then you key into the off-plan sales. There's some you just say, I want to pay across as 12 months, 18 months, so that this challenge we reduce, and then we can reach out to those who are middle income earners and low income earners as well.
So we just have to keep on working at it to get it better, but it's not going to be a quick fix, bearing in mind the backdrop against which we must exist and live our lives. Yes. Well, Dr. Oshofowora, I want to thank you very much for coming along to enlighten us. And we also thank those people who called in, especially Benedict. He's a Nigerian voice. That voice I heard is Nigerian. So it was very important that he called in, asked that question, and you were able to put some perspective on it. Thank you very much. I think also other people called in, and we thank everybody who did call in. So thank you very much for coming on our program.
Thank you so much, sir.
We're going to have to leave it here for now.